Hey guys, it's me. I'm back. I wanted to make a video, and I wanted to tell a story. um, it's kind of a long one, but hopefully I can shorten it down. At the age of just know that Halloween is my favorite holiday. Keep that in mind. Well, I was I think 8. No, I was 7 or 8 years old. And that Halloween, I had decided I'm going to be Velma from Scooby-Doo. Either it was that year or I was a zombie cheerleader. I don't remember which. So we're all, my mother, my father, our family friend LJ, his girlfriend, and then his sister Melinda, and me, we're all going out trick-or-treating that year. Well, we head out. I go to this haunted house at the beginning of the night, and then as the night continues on, we hit more houses, get more candy, and we get in the van. We had a blue van that had one sliding door on the right side of the car, one back seat that was just a long strip. The rest of it was completely empty from the back, and the back doors opened, double. And then, of course, the front and the passenger seat. Well, in the very back, my father would put, aluminum cans and scrap metal in there, and we'd haul it off to the junkyard to get money. Well, at that time, he had his, I can't remember what it's called, but it's like the giant X you use to put on the bolts for your tire if you have had a flat tire. And then we had a good tire in case it did happen, all the way in the back. Well, we had parked right by the haunted house. And there were guys in there that wore clown masks and had chainsaws, like the costume chainsaws you get at Party City that make the noise if you rub it up against something. Well, my father and our family friend decided to scare every one of us in the car, all the females, and then decided, they looked at them and said, "Hey, we will give each of you $5 if you go and scare the crap out of my wife, my daughter, and our friends." And my family friend said his girlfriend. The guys were like, all right, put their masks on, grab their chainsaws. Me and Mom and Melinda and his girlfriend Ashley were all talking. I think it was Ashley. I'm not sure. We were all talking. Well, I was mostly listening. I was too young to get into adult conversation at that point in time. And suddenly, we heard noises. Melinda was terrified of clowns at that time. And she was a teenager. I was a little kid. And it just scared poor Ashley to death. As soon as it happened, Mom's in the driver's seat. It startles her, but she's fine. And I'm in the back seat area, but I'm between the driver's seat and the passenger seat. And there's this little console. The car was in park. As soon as what I hear is going on, I jump over the console and I get right beneath my mother's feet by the gas pedal. Melinda falls into the back seat, and Ashley completely jumps over the back seat and hits her head on the tire and nearly breaks her nose. While my father and LJ are laughing on the pavement. Flash forward to 2010. I was 9. We had just moved into our trailer. And that was a weird second of lighting. We had just moved into our trailer. And it was pretty old. And, my bedroom, we didn't know it until after all this happened, but it was, like, covered on the inside with black mold. And I am deathly allergic to mold. It causes me to get sick. I cannot take penicillin or else it'll swell my face up. And I look like a blimp. Bright red blimp. I cannot speak. So, I get sick because of this black mold. And since I get sick, my throat starts swelling. And I'm prone to UTIs for some reason. And I get that on top of being sick. I can't move my head. Like, this is my normal position, alright? With my neck so swollen out to, like, here. This is as far as I can move my head down. This is as far as I can move my head up. Couldn't move my head no farther to the right than this. No farther than the left to this. At all. Mom freaks out. And she takes me to Mercy Hospital. The doctor I had was an idiot. We'll just say this. Well, we get in there, I'm waiting in the office, and then they take me back to the back room, and I do a UTI test, that comes up positive, and they put an IV in my arm for that. And then they start listening to the symptoms that I have, and they think I have spinal meningitis. So they freak out. They tell me to strip down and put on a gown, put me on the bed, on my stomach, tell my mother they're going to give me a spinal tap, and they rush me off to an emergency room. Immediately. So I'm freaked out. I'm stressed. I already feel like crap. And then all this is going on too. It's terrible. I remember this so vividly. The doctor that I had bright red hair. Like it was dyed. And it was so curly and it was up on her head. And she wore blue scrubs. With a white jacket over it. And I don't remember her name. But there was like her and 5 other nurses. Most of them was male. That I remember. And, she takes my gown, opens it enough to where she can see my spine, feels down it, and then she tells the nurse to give me something. Well, they fill up the needle so much, and she lays me flat, and as soon as the first needle goes into my back, I'm out. I don't remember anything up to this point. My mother has told me that I would jump every time she put a needle into me, and it freaked her out. So she asked the nurse to give me some more painkiller to knock me out, and every time she would do it, I would jump, and it'd freak her out more, and she pumped more and more into me until I passed out completely. And I started overdosing. The doctor overdosed me. One of the nurses tell her she's gonna die. And she's like, alright, get her into an ambulance, take her to Cincinnati Children's Hospital. They'll finish it there. They put me on a gurney, put me in the ambulance, and we're driving down the highway. My mother's with me in the ambulance. My father takes the car, drives to our house, which is an hour away from where we were, drives to the house, and mind you, Cincinnati Children's Hospital is an hour away and an hour and 30 minutes away from where we were. My father drives to the house and then drives and beats the ambulance back to Cincinnati Children's Hospital and waits for us with our stuff to spend a couple of nights. Beats the ambulance before they got there. My mom and me pull up into the place, and all I remember from the whole ambulance ride, because I remember being in there, I remember waking up for a split second, looking, and I'm looking out the windows, and I see cars behind us and just a whole bunch of highway and like the sky. That's all I remember. And I remember my mom telling me that she loved me, and that's it. I black out again. I don't remember anything until I wake up in the hospital bed at Children's Hospital with 2 IVs in me. apparently, my mother said, they got me into the hospital at Children's. She said so many doctors and nurses swarmed me, took me to emergency room, and she talked to a priest. They thought I was going to die. Now, they get me in there, they pump my stomach, and they flip me over my side and it all comes out. So I wake up 4 or 5 hours later, my father's gotten food, that way him and my mom could eat, and I wake up groggy, my voice sounds gruff and gravelly, and I'm hungry. And I'm like looking around the room like, what is going on? I look down, I have 2 IVs in my arms. And I look over and I see my mom, and she gets up and she's like, oh my God, you're awake. And I'm like, I'm hungry. That's all I said as soon as I got up. And then I asked, where are we? Food first, location next. Well, fast forward 2 weeks, because I had to stay in that hospital that long, because the doctors told me I have a cyst on my tonsils. That if any drainage comes down while I'm sick, it'll cause it to swell, and it can cut off breathing. Which is what I was doing. And, they said they learned more from me than I did from them, and that as long as I keep it under control, I don't have to remove my tonsils to remove the cyst. And I can live without the surgery. And I was like, okay, great. When do I get to leave? And they said, just in 4 more days, because this is right before we left. I did my schoolwork there, and I got so many letters from my classmates in 3rd grade of, like, get well, and just so much. And it was so sweet. I was like, oh my God, I'm famous. I was 9. And 2 weeks after this all happens, I get ready to leave. It's the day we're leaving. I finally got to take a shower. I felt great. I felt so gross before that. My hair was so matted. And it was terrible. I didn't get to wash my hair because it was so matted and so long. But I got to wash the rest of me. We got in the car. They wheeled me out in a wheelchair. They rolled me out in a wheelchair to my car, put me in, got all my stuff in, and I was in the back seat of our car at that point because our van had broke down. I was in the back seat of our car, and my mom was sick. Her sugar was low, diabetes. And my father's driving. And as he's driving, we get stuck in traffic. We sit there for like 5 minutes. Well, between those 5 minutes, my father happens to look up at the top rear view mirror. And in the back, in the car behind us, he sees a clown. Fully dressed. Completely in costume. Apparently, he was running late for work and had to get dressed before. Or he just does it naturally at his house and then drives every day. I don't know. Or driving back from work. Who knows? Well, my father at this point in time did not understand the concept that, oh, my daughter is terrified of clowns. And you can see where this leads. He smiles big and bright, turns back to me, and goes, hey, Paige, why don't you look at the car behind us? And I go, why? And he goes, just look back there. I'm like, all right. I get up, put my knees on the seat and turn around, put my hands on the back, and I look up, and it takes my mind a minute to register what I'm seeing, and I see the clown. I freak out, I scream, and I fall back into the seat and hit my head on the driver's seat. My dad's like, what was that about? And I said, I'm terrified of clowns. And he goes, oh, oops. We get back to the house, and my whole room is a mess. Apparently, the whole 2 weeks while we were in there, my father got drywall and everything else and fixed my room, got rid of the black mold. So I wasn't sick no more. So, yeah. It was an adventure. That's for sure. And I'll probably have more of these kind of stories next week. I'm going to try to post next week too. But I figured I'd share that with you. And it's so funny because anytime we play Two Truths and a Dare with my friends, and then we bring someone else in the group that doesn't know me, and some of my friends forget about that whole story of me almost dying. So, when we play, they're all like, I'm so much Cherokee, and I have 5 cousins, and I have a birthmark on my butt cheek. And I'm like, blah, blah, blah. And I'll end up being wrong most of the time. I'm like, alright, fine. And I tell them some like, I'm Irish, I prefer dogs over cats, and then the last one that I always bring up, is that I almost died. And it's so sparsed out that I don't put in any detail to it to make it seem like a true thing, even though it is. So I always get them with it, and it's like, nope, I almost died, so that's true. So it's kind of a fun thing, I guess. I survived and lived to tell the tale. Woohoo! But, yeah, a lot of fun. I'm going to try to do another story next week. I've already said this, but I think I know what the story is. Yeah. So I hope you guys enjoyed the story and the tale. If you did, leave a like button. Leave a like button. Hit the like button. Leave a comment down in the section below. Maybe a story that you have, and I might tell it. Just put some random name. You could even just hit the subscribe button and hit the bell. Get notified when I make videos. And if you enjoyed the story enough, share it with others. That's fine by me. But I hope you guys I can't talk today. I hope you guys had a lovely time listening and laughing along with me. And I hope you enjoyed it. And I hope to see you guys next time. Have a very gay day. Mwah!